What a joy to be with you on this Friday. It's hard to believe another work week is finished, and I am so thankful in this day and age in which we live, we can walk with God and serve the Lord. Today I'd like to go to Hebrews chapter 9, and for us to have a right perspective. I've said this several times, and I'm going to say it from a different angle. We have a tendency to look at the people that Satan controls as our enemies. Now, in essence, what they may do to us is what an enemy does. I understand that. But we've got to realize we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against different levels of demonic power, as Ephesians chapter 6 says. And we need to, instead of seeing all of these people as enemies, we need to understand these people have needs, and we need to pray for them, as 1 Timothy 2 says, and we need to have a heart for them. Verse 27, you've heard quoted often from chapter 9, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. It's appointed unto men once to die. Every person you're looking at will die. They're going to go somewhere forever. Sometimes as I hear top politicians speaking or I see them speaking, I have a rise in me as I am very frustrated about the unbiblical things that they are saying. The Lord really helps me at many times, I wish it was all the time, but many times, to look in their eyes or hear the voice and realize this is a human being that Jesus Christ died for. He paid for all their sins. They are now the enemies of the cross, but they're the enemies of themselves. They are putting themselves into perdition. They are digging a hole that is very deep. And though we have to stand up against ungodliness, and we cannot at all capitulate. I'm not talking about a soft kind of a spirit here or a warm and fuzzy attitude, but I'm talking about a truth perspective. Because we cannot have an angry soul. We've got to realize these folks have allowed Satan to war against God, and they will pay for it for eternity if they don't turn to Christ. If Nebuchadnezzar can be saved, then some of these politicians, some of these media people, some of these business leaders, some of the people that are working internationally, totally going against what is wise and best, some of these people could be saved if we pray for them. But regardless of what happens there, we need to have the right attitude. One of the tendencies we have is to make enemies out of people, and God does not want us to do that. Now, if they're enemies of truth, then we got to stand against them. But we don't need to personalize it, and we don't need to get bitter and frustrated, because we will lose the blessing of God. So let's remember, it's appointed unto them to die, and there will be a judgment. God will make all things right. Right now, it looks like Christ is mocked. Oh, he won't be mocked. They'll fall before him. And so today, we don't need to be all humanly reactive. We need to be grieved about sin. We need to be grieved about untruth, but we need to have a right spirit. God give us a heart to pray. I pray for all of our key politicians every morning. And sometimes I have to admit it's hard to pray, but God gives the power to do that. And we've got to see them as souls that need the Savior. And so may God give us a spirit that shows our Christianity, that shows the fact that we have been changed, we are saved, we're not in this for ourselves, and we simply want to serve the one that died for us. May God give us that kind of heart.